Okay.
And Lara says to visually do it too, so you do it in front of the camera.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, let me do it again. Wait, okay, one more.
I have to practice the clap.
Yeah, no, we're getting it.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back to another video, guys. I'm Marsh McDan, and this is Gooding, and we're going to bring you some fascinating news about this new coin that is about to drop, Royale.
Marsh, man, tell the audience a little bit about us.
Oh man, we are Adapt Crypto, a fascinating large group of powerful individuals here in the crypto space, just looking for those gains, looking for the best info, the most cutting edge alpha, as we say. We got the Telegram, we got the Discord, we got the website, blog, obviously this YouTube channel. So if you're looking for that alpha, just like we are, we'd love to have you join us on whatever channel you feel comfortable using.
So there you have it, guys. Like, subscribe. It's absolutely free, but supports the channel and allows us to give you content more frequently. Without further delay, let's get into it. Today we have Royale Finance. The ticker is going to be ROYA. What is it? It's a cross-chain DeFi solution for the online gambling industry. Their platform is going to be built on Web 3.0, and it's going to be backed with liquidity from the DeFi space, essentially. So what you can expect from this, it's going to be like a user interface where people can go on and gamble, whether it's going to be casinos, it's going to be any sort of gaming, application, as well as betting. So you can do your normal esports sort of betting. Royale Finance. So, and some of the problems they're going to be solving with their platform as opposed to some of the others is liquidity that's backed by, for the first time, backed by DeFi and LPs. And this is interesting, not just for this project, but also the DeFi space. All of a sudden we have all these multi-million-dollar LPs that just sort of sit there, and it's like, oh, what does that do? Don't really know. Here we have a purpose potentially, and this will start opening up a lot of other doors for newer projects or already existing projects out there. Another problem they're trying to solve is fair distribution. They've also got self-governing, so you can vote on the profit or loss to the users. So there's a 80-20 ratio usually in casinos, and that's pretty much what they're going to start with. But as someone with a token, you can vote on the profit loss ratios for the gamers themselves. Also, as a token holder with holding their Roya token, you can also determine which projects you want Royale Finance to lend liquidity to. So what sort of market cap can we expect from Royale Finance? If you go to Google, you can Google how big the online gambling industry actually is within the world, and it should show you figures between 55 to about 69 billion expected for 2020, with an annual growth of about 11.5% per year. So it's pretty interesting. With a market cap of the token launch itself being around 1 million and fully diluted about 8 to 9 million, what sort of share of this market cap could we sort of expect? Although I think it'll probably have the dominant sort of market cap within the crypto and DeFi space, with those sort of two linked together. However, if it were able to sort of steal some of that market cap from some of the other big players such as Flutter, Stars Group, Kindred, GVC Group, all ranging between 600 to about 2.7 billion, 600 million to 2.7 billion annual revenue per year. It has potential.
That's huge. Flutter's market cap is bigger than a lot of high cap coins, actually. It's a big market to be attacking.
And they're going to do this through the iGaming market. Now, if you Google iGaming, it's essentially an aggregator. It's essentially going to be the bridge between cryptocurrency and your mass adoption, to reach the general populace. So it's going to be pretty interesting what they, how it integrates, how flawless the user interface is through the iGaming web 2.0 or 3.0, as well as how proficiently it sort of connects within the DeFi space and the blockchain as well. So what we have here is the Royale Finance token economy. Now, from first glance, I think it's quite sustainable. Although you can't really guarantee anything until it actually launches and you can actually see it in action. But what we have here, the governance token itself will be able to determine the profit and loss ratios. It can also determine who Royale Finance takes on onto their platform, as well as provide liquidity for as well. So the token itself will be able to vote for which applications will be able to use their platform, which is pretty cool. On the far right there, we've got the buyback and make. Essentially, that'll look pretty good on the chart as well, and it gives it a bit of a use case there. We have the insurance for the collateral itself, so pretty good. Now, I'll just quickly touch on the staking itself. So this is the incentive to buy the token and hold the token. They're saying that the max yield there is 72%, depending on the use of the applications, I'm assuming. But you've got to be able to lock it in for 12 months. Now, this is quite good for deflation, essentially, or inflation. Reduces your inflation, but it just takes out a lot of the tokens in circulation. Now, 72%, it doesn't sound like a lot in the DeFi space. However, to some of the larger holders themselves, they need to have something that's sustainable, it can move quickly, and this might be a better sort of sustainable APY for their liquidity, as well as, and they've also got a cheeky bonus there of 7.2% for stablecoin liquidity pools provided. So that's pretty cool.
This does sound super interesting. It's all tokens are trying to develop some sort of ecosystem and have a reason for people to actually own the token and come back to the platform. Obviously, if you just want to stake and earn, that's also going to be pretty good. And sure, that's a pretty low figure if you consider some other more risky plays that we've seen here in the past in DeFi land, where you're getting 1,000%, 4,000% APY. But those are never sustainable. We know that. And this through this ecosystem, this does seem like something that could actually stabilize. And a stable 70% APY is pretty good, to be honest. Not something you can really find anywhere at this point, as far as I know.
100%. I just want to sort of touch on the use case there as well, mate. So we've already touched on a few good points there. This platform is going to provide a use case for the liquidity pools. It's going to provide a use case for linking in with mass adoption into cryptocurrency. And then it's also providing a platform for online gambling developers to sort of link in onto cryptocurrency and to the mass adoption users, and they do that with an audit. So they audit all the apps that sort of come through. Whoever wants to put their online gambling application on their platform, and they'll determine to make sure that it has a random number generator, that it's not fixed to ultimately lose too much. It should be usually it's like an 80-20 sort of ratio there. So I think that's pretty good. What do you think, mate?
No, that sounds solid. Still a pretty huge ratio as far as I can tell, and this is something a lot of coins seem to be attempting to do, right? You have to develop your own ecosystem, have a powerful reason and a good fan base behind it, but then you need to hook into something that's already existing in the real world. And I've seen other coins that try to sort of develop their own games or smaller sort of gambling platforms, but this honestly seems like the biggest potential, because they are hooking into this iGaming platform, which, as far as I can tell, already does have huge sort of mass adoption globally. as far as online gambling. And so that is going to unlock, like we were looking at before, just insane amounts of capital that would flow potentially into Royale Finance. And so that all I see is bullish, honestly, if they can figure this out. AU21 Capital is backing them, which is huge news, I would say. They seem to only be backing extremely strong projects. If we just look here at this list here, the Graph, Polkadot, Reef, Unilend, Elrond, Binance, Gate.io. These are only major players in the crypto space. They seem to just be making fantastic bets left and right, and they are now supporting Royale. Is that right, Gooding?
Yeah, it's not going to be the ace up the sleeve, but what it sort of shows me is that it's not just a couple of amateurs, with their grandmother's life savings that are backing this project. We have institutions buying into it and saying this project has potential, and you're sort of hoping as an investor, like retail investor like you and I, that the smart investors are looking into this project and there is a reason for it.
All right, so we have looked at the team that has created Royale Finance, and everybody on the team does seem to be legitimate, actual people. We've checked out their LinkedIns, and they all seem to have a very relevant experience in finance and other areas as well. So no doubts here on the team themselves.
Yeah, they're supported by a lot of people within the crypto space. We have Mantra Dao Joe Wong as one of their foundation council, as well as Nick Krappels from WanChain, as well as a few other significant players there too.
All right, so to sum it up, we are very excited about Royale Finance. They are going to have an extremely high APY for those people that are non-DeFi. Is 70%, especially if that becomes pretty stable. That is a very exciting number. They have a very strong team. A lot of people with heavy experience in the crypto space and otherwise, and in general, just a real sort of buzzy hype feeling around the coin. Everybody does seem to be very excited about it, and it just being Polkadot and that whole thing, it is very future forward looking.
Yeah, 100%, man. You touched on some really good points there. And then to summarize it, I'm really excited about the project. It's providing a great use case for some of the DeFi liquidity pools that are out there, and most of them are doing nothing. There's a use case there for new LPs. It's now also appealing to the online gambling developers themselves who have a concept, an idea, and want to get funded and potentially be voted to be used on their platform. I also liked the fact that they have an audit system, internal audit system. I would also like to see an external audit done as well for their liquidity pools. I'll be definitely looking out for that. They might already have one, I just couldn't find it. From what I can sort of see, and factoring in the fact that the PokerStarter IDO sort of sold out within 10 minutes, I'm expecting between a 5 to 10x on launch from the IDO price of 12 cents. And we're going to be covering that live on BitThumb. From there, once we buy our tokens, we're sort of going to assess whether or not, is the hype still really strong, and I'll definitely reassess my position between the 1 and 3 days after buying. And then I'll be factoring in the token distribution, which will determine how much I'll be holding at what periods of time in the future.
That's going to about do it for this episode of Adapt Crypto. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, even if you didn't, you should hit that like and subscribe button and check us out, right? These videos are shorter, but if you want to spend 24 hours a day with us, you better get in that Telegram, come over to the Discord, check out the website, read our blog. We're generating a lot of content, and I think if you like this video, you're going to like the rest of what's going on. So join us, get in the conversation, and we're going to see you on the next video. I know it. We will.
See you on the launch. See you guys.